Look at this. It's a new book, and I got to read the title for you. It says it all. Nation of Victims, Identity Politics, the Death of Merit, and the Path Back to Excellence. Vivek Ramaswamy is the author, and Vivek joins me now. Welcome back, Vivek. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Stu.
Would you say that victimology is the political strategy of the left over the entire generation?
I think it has been for much of the 21st century.
Right.
There's something about the psychological need that human beings have that when you describe them as a victim, that justifies taking any action to achieve their ends. But it's not just limited to the American left. I mean, even Vladimir Putin, in some ways, describes himself as a victim because that's what allows him to take extraordinary force that otherwise wouldn't have been justified, even to his own people, if he didn't describe himself as a victim.
But I've got the feeling that victimology is very much in charge in America today. And my question is, how do you reverse it?
That's right. So that's what this book is all about. The case I make in this book is we used to have a national identity built around the shared pursuit of excellence. We now have a national identity built around victimhood instead. And it's not just black victimhood. It's not just liberal victimhood, both of which I talk about in the book. It's also spreading to white victimhood culture, to second-generation Asian victimhood culture, to conservative victimhood. There's even a chapter about that in the book as well. The answer, though, is how do we get back to the path towards excellence? Well, the case I make is it runs through an uncomfortable terrain, a terrain that we call forgiveness. And I think that this is, I think a philosophically rich exploration. I hope it traces a lot of not only American history, all the way dating back to the Civil War. It even goes back to examine Roman history, taking a look at the rises and falls of Rome. And one of the conclusions I come to in the book is there was no fall of Rome. There were many rises and many falls. And for those who say we're at the end in the fall of the American experiment, I say we're not quite done yet. We may actually recover yet still if we're able to mutually forgive and revive that shared national identity based on excellence.
I think of forgiveness as a Christian concept. What's your response to that?
Well, forgiveness is definitely a Christian concept. I was educated in a Catholic school myself, but I think that whether or not you are a Christian, it is a fundamental virtue. It is a virtue of many religious traditions. It is a virtue even of secular traditions as well, right? Immanuel Kant. You could read Immanuel Kant and get to a secular case for forgiveness without necessarily having to take the Christian path to get there. Though if you are a Christian and that's the path you want to take to get there, God bless you, because I think that's a great way to get there. Whatever your path is, that's what we ultimately need to revive in our culture.
Vivek, you are single-handedly elevating the intellectual discussion level on this program.
I don't know.
Thank you very much indeed. But hold on a second. I was watching you on Fox and Friends this morning. You opened your new book and you read out a passage from it, a short paragraph. Would you do the same for us? Because I thought that really summed up the book.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me pick a different passage for us, okay? It's going to talk actually a little bit about the economy and laziness culture.
You've got 30 seconds.
All right. So when laziness and victimhood enter the equation, people compete to receive government handouts instead of working, and economic growth suffers even more. By squabbling over how to split the economic pie instead of growing it, then, we may actually be making wealth inequality worse. Even if we did manage to achieve some more just distribution in the short term, by Piketty's reasoning, if we did it in a way that slowed growth more than returns on invested capital, we would only be changing who the haves and have-nots are and creating more have-nots.
That's very well put. That's very good. You could write a my take for me, and it would be almost perfect. It really would. That's very good.
I hope you enjoy this story. It talks a lot about the economy, and I even make the case in this book, it's controversial, that a market crash may be a good thing for our culture, actually.
Wow. Whoa, OK, We'll leave it right there. Don't you dare do that to us. Vivek Ramaswamy, thank you very much, sir. We will see you again soon, guaranteed.
Thank you. Thank you very much.